sorry, I didn't even see that there were some comments there. I'm trying to figure everything out here. I don't know. That better. Hopefully I can see comments down here. That glare stinks. So if the APU is too loud, y'all say something so I can turn it off. But it's hot. What's up, Russ? Hey, technology and this old farts, you know? What can I say? So it said turn the camera, and I turned the camera, but apparently I didn't turn it how it wanted it to. So there you go with that. Oh, man. I am in. You hear everything? Everything good? Let's see. Oh, man. I don't even. Nobody else does these. Everybody else does these live things. I figured I'd give it a shot. So let's see. Craig, I live in Little Elm, which is just north of Dallas. So that's the home base. Good. I'm glad to know the $15 microphone I paid for works. I got a tripod and everything. I got to get the GoPro. That's one of the things I got to get, but I don't walk around with the thing on my head. I don't know. Figure it out. But yep, that's when we go on, APU's not too loud. It's the only other thing that matters is because, like I said, it's hot. I'm in somewhere between Russellville and Springdale. I'm heading to Springdale tomorrow, so at a rest area. South of Tyler. I was in Alton yesterday. Alton, Texas. That was I was on every paved goat trail to nowhere yesterday, getting from Waco over to Alton. Then I went over to Mansfield, Louisiana. I got to see some highway today, getting up here to Arkansas, so that was some good news. It's been I had delivered in what the hell's the name of that place? Somewhere south of Fort Stockton, Texas. I had to bounce all the way to Waco, and that was back road. There are those roads that you're on that when you're on them, you know it's legal. I check my route on my Atlas. I have 2 GPSs going. I look for the signs before I take it. So I know I'm on a legal route, but you just have the feeling you shouldn't be there. Like, people are passing you going, like, you don't see another car, much less an 18-wheeler for 20 miles. I was on those roads yesterday. TMC Home Depot. I got a guy I talked to the other day. He's on Home Depot out of St. Louis. So I got a buddy on Home Depot out of Dallas. I got a buddy on Home Depot out of St. Louis, and I got one out of North Carolina. So I got Home Depot covered, and Tractor Supply. But so yep, that's what I've been doing is literally running my clock out every day. This is the first day I've parked with hours on my clock in at least the last week. It's been an adventure. Springdale. The hell if I know, dude. This is one of those doing somebody a favor type deals, and so apparently we had a trailer that got dropped and nobody knew it, and I think I literally have a trailer full of beans. I'm going to some warehouse. I guess it's in East Springdale. I've done a lot of TMC loads up to Springdale with shingles and stuff, but this is my first box truck up there. It's a load of beans going to Springdale. I'm just doing it the way it worked out was I had today and got 2 deliveries, so I completed that route for today, and then I picked up this trailer today, and I'll do it first thing tomorrow. So it kind of, like I said, my fleet manager, she is awesome, and so she keeps me ahead of the game, and so I've already got a backhaul planned for tomorrow. So I just kind of took this load because when you're in Mansfield, which is by Shreveport, I'm from Bossier City, and too far back to Tractor Supply, hey, run up here, grab this. Again, a lot of deadhead miles, but I get paid deadhead miles, so same as regular miles. So it's all miles to me. I just get better fuel economy. So that's what I did. So I'm in, Ozark of the rest area up here. So just chilling. Gonna get up bright and early. So that's where I'm headed to in Springdale. I tried going to the Loves, but that Love is micro tiny. So like I said, I knew I needed to make a video. I wanted to make a video, but I didn't really have anything to talk about specifically. So hey, I'll go live and do a Q&A, just answer questions. So to the 8 of you, and I think I'm one of them. So I think there's 7 of us on here. But so like I said, the YouTube things, I like making videos, but there has to be a point. So trying to think what I can talk about. Lease has been going well. Again, having a good fleet manager, man, make or break you. You lease company no matter where you work. So luckily, I've got a good one. So I'm happy about that. I figured by teasing everybody with the fake one that somebody would say something. Family's good. How was the family? Family's good. Kids started school. Wife is working. They have to start wearing masks tomorrow at school, and not getting political, nothing to do with that. I'm just saying my kids are not thrilled about that because they only had a couple weeks of freedom, because they had to wear masks all the way into school last time, and now they got to wear masks again starting tomorrow. So, I mean, COVID's real. We just had a very, I didn't know him personally, but a friend of the family that I have met that passed away yesterday, or actually this morning. I guess I got the text from COVID, so it's real. So don't misconstrue that. But family's good. Family is healthy. When your son gets a girlfriend, you never see him again. But other than that, I think he's okay. The young ones are doing great, though. Okay, so no, where I'm at. There's a Love's like right behind me. I'm between Russellville, where I picked up, and Springdale. There's a Love's in the middle there. I don't know where I'm at. Honestly, I just found a rest area. I got like 60 miles to go in the morning, but I'll get up and get an early start. I got to hit the Pilot in Springdale tomorrow because I'm going to need diesel, which I do like everybody else does when lease. Our payroll cutoff is midnight on Tuesday. So from Friday on, I'm basically running on fumes because I don't want to pay for next week's fuel out of this paycheck. But now that it's middle of this week, I get to fill up the tank because I know the miles I'm running. So, yep. So that's where that's at. Family's good. Penny's good. Next video, I'm going to actually put a picture of a video of Penny in there. I took a video of her. She's good. She's driving my wife crazy. RTI has a pet deposit, and then it's not like Prime, where it's like Prime, you just take the pet if you're a lease operator and you just had to pay for any damages. So I've got enough deposits coming out of my paycheck right now, so I haven't. Penny will not be making the journey right now. Now, when the truck's paid off, that's a different story. But for right now, Penny will not be making an appearance on the truck. No, I've never heard. I'm not a real truck driver. I've never heard of the Mud Flap app, so I don't know what that is. But I guess I know what I'm doing tonight. So no, I actually have not heard of that. Why did I not? Craig, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, buddy. There's a lot of story there. I was there for such a short period of time. I mean, what, December to March? I'm not touching that. It's too drawn out of a story, and it's not that I don't have time, but it's just, and it wasn't even Prime so much. It was other stuff. It was the leasing company I had some issues with. I made a comment about fleet managers earlier that it was up and it was down. One thing I will tell you is that I don't want to say that. So you shoot me a message or something if you want to know the story. It's nothing to do with them. It was just not a good fit. And sometimes when it's not a good fit, you just have to say it wasn't a good fit. Like I would go back to TMC in a heartbeat. I would go back to Cook in a heartbeat. I just wouldn't go back there. That's just me. Other people, there are 9,000 videos out there, but people who love it, people who've gone there, people who have left. So I don't want to get off in that tangent because it's not my style. But I'll just say it's a long story. It just wasn't for me, and going back there wasn't an option. So. Yeah, no kidding. That Pilot in Springdale, I said I saw my hours when I picked up, but I was like, oh, there's a Pilot there, and I was like, yeah, I'll just hit that for fuel. I'm a rest stop and rest area ninja, man, because you just get in and you can get out. And I took a shower with a couple bottles of water beside the truck, no big deal. Got my dude wipes. This is my first adventure with the dude wipes. I bought some of those, so we're fresh and we're clean. We don't smell too bad. I mean, it is what it is. I'm a runner, so my hygiene is fine. Don't worry. I take my showers. I got shower power at the Pilot, and what I was gonna do when I hit that Love's where I'm at is I was actually gonna hit it, get 50 gallons just so I get a free shower. Now our fuel discount is better at Pilot. That's why they push Pilot, because you said, but the difference in fuel with the discount would have been way less than paying for a shower. But there was no parking. Whatever this, I mean, this Love's was probably as small as the Pilot there in Springdale. So, yeah, that's why I didn't even attempt to go there. I just couldn't. I was like, yeah, I know that's gonna be full. I'll whip in this Pilot Love's. It was full, and this was like 6 o'clock. So, but the rest area is wide open. That's why I love them. Yeah, my wife got that for me. So from the front, people go, "What is that? A Cowboys hat?" Oh no, it's not, because they see the Hui brand, and I'm like, yo, but it is. I wear my Cowboys hat around the world with pride, baby. It is just is what it is. And you know what else I wear? I'm a Texas Rangers. I wear that one a lot less. Hey, what's going on, Trucking Through Life, man? Yeah, it's journey is the right word, my man. It is because when you're at these companies short time, and again, I've said this in my videos about it's kind of embarrassing, you know, what happened. But again, Prime wasn't my fault. Cook should have never been made. I should have been RTI, but it's a journey because I've been here 3 weeks and every day I learn something new, because you got to learn the way everybody does things differently. Like, a funny example, I've been, when I get to my shipper, the Tractor Supplies, everyone I've been to, which is, I think, 8 or 9 at this point, I take off the seal, because I have to take off the seal because I have to open the doors, because most of them don't have docks. They have these just ramps in the back, and so I got to back up. And not a problem. And then the one last night, the guy's like, hey, you're not supposed to remove the seal. We're supposed to remove the seal. And I was like, well, you know what? That makes sense, but like nobody ever told me. So now I went to the next one. I didn't remove the seal. It's just, you know, it's so journey is the right word, because everybody does. The paperwork here is 10 times easier to do than all of that other stuff. But this is the only company I work for that doesn't have their own app. There's not an RTI app. So I got an app for this and an app for that. So journey is the right word. I appreciate that, Finn Chaser. You know, and I've told the story. I don't know how familiar with people are, but between 2008 was just a bad year for me. And again, my father worked for Zig Ziglar, and the younger people may not know who that is, but you know, the older crowd will. My father worked for him, so I grew up with "See You at the Top" and getting rid of stinking thinking, and that was my whole childhood. So it's positivity and be grateful, because like it is impossible to be envious of somebody else if you're grateful for what you have. You know, it's impossible to be jealous of something. You know, I've got like 3,100 subscribers, so I could be jealous of the channels with 80,000, 100,000, or you know what? I could be grateful for the 3,000 that I have, because I'd rather get to go live with 19 people and answer questions and say what's up than bullshit a million people. You know, so be grateful and be happy. Dude, Brandon, it's no joke, man. And so you just eventually, there's a thing called timing. You know, I didn't go into trucking when I got out of the Marine Corps because I was dumb enough to think that your job title, what other people thought of your job title, mattered. You know, so if you got a little one at home and that's where you need to be, find something that makes you happy while you're there. You know, because happiness, you know, success is all success is that you're pursuing your journey. Success isn't when I own this truck I've been successful. I'm successful now because I'm pursuing my goals. So if you're pursuing your goals and you're on the right thing, I mean, family's family. Family comes first. I'll tell you that with the route that I got on this Monday, I should have left Sunday. But my family, and we didn't know what route I had. So when I dropped up on Friday, I wasn't sure what I had on Monday. They called me Saturday to tell me what it was. And I was like, you know, I really need to leave Sunday. And I just looked at my family's eyes. I was like, yeah, I'm not leaving Sunday. I left Monday, and it was a long-ass day. But guess what? I did it. I got it done. So company got paid, I got paid, and I'm on schedule. So sometimes family just comes first, man. It's just the way it is. Really, Swift? Really? I knew somebody was going to go there. No, I have not met her. No, I have not been to her OnlyFans. No, she seems like a wonderful person and really seems to like it here. But I knew somebody was going to ask that question. Big Chris, what's going on, man? TMC, I just had one pass me. Well, he didn't pass me because I can go faster, but past where I'm staying right now. And every time I look, I tell you, when I was with Prime, I was going through Alabama when I was going on a New Jersey run, and I saw my old truck, and that tripped me out to be in the middle of Alabama and see your old truck. What's up, Ricky? Hey, Johnson Logic's on time for once. That is amazing. You know, don't expect me to wait for you in any truck stops or anything because I have a clock I have to keep. Well, let me tell you, Apollo. Let me tell you. Daddy likes tandems. Just, man, you can make with those spread axles. Now, with the TMC, you got the lift axle, so you can take the air out of this and you're pivoting on this axle. But like Prime, we had true tandems, and you had some 53s, and they would get stuck, or they would have lift axles. There's so much more geometry, I guess, with those split axles that I could do it. I figured out how to do it. TMC, God bless them, they taught a great pattern. And I went into TMC. We had like 4 hours one night where we could do all the little driving drills you had to do on the yard. And I did the 45 for all 4 hours because I couldn't get it. And by the end of my time there, I got it. But I've only been doing this a couple of months, but I'm so comfortable with it that my nervousness factor, man, is just way down because tandems, the trailer just does what I want it to do. Having said that, when you get in a tight spot like I was today, it took me about 40 minutes to get hooked up to the dock. Now, I was messing around and I wasn't in a hurry, and it wouldn't matter what kind of axles you had. That little Tractor Supply boy was tight, but I got it and got offloaded, so. Yep, hardest part is over the road, but I will tell you, there's some weirdos out there that are like me that I can't stand being away from my family. Hope the lighting don't get too bad. I'm afraid if I turn that on, it's going to blind you guys. Okay, now my truck's not going to... see? First live and I broke my truck. Nope, 7,000 miles, truck's going good. But, like, with my personality, my who I am, when I'm driving down that road and I got my radio playing and I'm just out on the highway, I just know that's where I belong. And my family, God love them, have been supportive. My family never once has said, we hate your job, we hate that you're gone. They suck it up. I may be a part of the way I raised them, but they know I love them. You have this thing called FaceTime. You have this thing called a phone. All of my kids except the 8-year-old have a phone that's their own. And my 8-year-old has a phone when he gets home. So we've got phones. We've got ways to contact. And I have to be aware of that and make sure that I'm contacting them. But like, I can't imagine being low. I love this job and can't imagine not doing it over the road. But that's me. You got to do you. Yeah, Ross, mister, I'm going to do a video. I got 5 videos this week. I think I've seen 1 and I would know. So, come on here throwing shade when I got 5 videos. Have you completed the Prime video series yet, Ross? Have you? Because I don't think you have. There was all the videos we're going to hear about Prime that you didn't put out either. Yeah, I cannot wait till this truck is ungoverned. 68 ain't bad. I told you. My first company was TMC, which was 62. Prime was 65. Cook was 66. And now RTI is 68. One day, I will know what it's like to go down the highway at over 70 miles an hour. Now, down a hill, I've done 72. But one day, when this truck is mine, we'll be able to go faster and just watch our fuel gauge do this as all our money goes out the exhaust pipe, which is under the truck, which sucks. We got to get duals on this thing. Yeah, good old Johnson's. Man, Johnson's Logic, who was in Dallas and didn't even tell me. Man. So, like I said, I don't want to drag this out, but I'm having fun chatting. I'm burning time. My kids, I know, are getting showers and getting their stuff ready for tomorrow. So, no, let's see what else I can talk about. Oh, I didn't want to release one of those. Push everything back. Yeah, I push everything back too. Okay. Yeah, you know, and it's really weird. And I'll probably post this, and I don't know if there's any mechanics in the group. But so this truck with fuel economy, I've run it 64 and I've run it 68, and this God heaven's fact according to the dash, my truck gets better fuel economy on the cruise at 68. I can watch the gauge while I'm moving, it doesn't struggle as much, and so I really want to do 62, 63, 64. Now, these runs that I've been on lately, I haven't had time. I mean, by the time I got that load yesterday, it was, I don't know, driver refused it, driver broke down, I don't know, but I had a 455 mile bounce and like a 200 mile, right under 200 mile trip, and I had to get loaded, and I had already started my clock, so I did it in like, I don't know, 12 hours legally now, because when you're not flatbed, you don't have to stop every half or hour, every 3 hours. So now my bladder didn't appreciate it, but I made it. So I don't know why my truck likes to run 68, but it does seem, honest to God, to get better fuel economy at 68 and empty. It gets better economy empty too. What's up, Brady? Okay, so Chris, I can't answer that, and I'm going to tell you why. Is I haven't been in TMC in almost a year. I don't know what their loads are like. It depends if you're dedicated. Sometimes you'll make the same money if you don't stay out 2 weeks. If you're on a dedicated route, you can make the same money being dedicated. Like I was in Texas dedicated. There's times that you may run over the weekend, but by the time you get empty on Friday, you don't get a great load, but you get something. So I can't really give you what you'll make over 2 weeks. Like I said, once I got on Texas dedicated and it was spring, I didn't bring home less than $1,000. Now, there were some weeks when I was first starting and learning how to strap that I maybe made $700-800 when I was solo, but for me that wasn't bad money for a brand new truck driver. But I really couldn't tell you an average on that right now. You know, CB, my opinion on this, and a lot of it would depend on where you're going and what you're doing. Like, no, if I'm speaking completely from my own personal experience without any great knowledge of anything, I would say starting flatbed in the winter could be rough on you, especially if you're talking about lease. Now, if you're running a box truck, let's say, and I'm just throwing, RTI has a Target dedicated. Well, what's in the winter? Christmas, right? So you know Target's going to be slammed with all the Christmas rush. So it might be a great time that, or Prime. You know, people got to eat Thanksgiving dinner and they can haul dry stuff. So I would say it would depend on what you're doing. I think, and Trucker Brown said that one time. I think it's like, good Lord, the lighting is terrible. Like flatbed, you can't, you know, your loads are Monday through Friday, but when you're a box truck, you can get a load on Christmas. So, I mean, let's see if I can do that without blinding you. I'd like to have some sort, there we go, some sort of light. Hope that, if that's bad, y'all put it down in the comments. But, you know, so if you're doing a box truck, I don't necessarily think there's a bad time. It's so much of it's going to depend on company, and so much of it's going to depend on your fleet manager. Yeah, see that's what I'm talking about, Jonathan. I'm being very serious about that. It would be a mechanic and gear, and I don't know if it's rear end gearing and transmission. Mine only has the 10-speed. I really thought it had the 12-speed, but at 68 on cruise control, I get really decent fuel economy for going 68. I didn't notice any difference because when I for my first load and went home, I did 64, and then I went to 68, and my fuel economy was getting better. And I don't know, wind resistant again. The load you're carrying, the terrain you're carrying. I know all of that matters, but even heavy, if I'm up on the highway, I seem to do better at 68. Yeah, I'm in the 7s. I'm on the 7s loaded going not. I think I had one run that I did was when I was down in Kansas, and I was back roads the whole time, the entire time, and I was heavy, and I still got 6.8. I mean, and there was nothing I could do, small towns, that kind of thing, but yeah, I was seeing 9s when I was empty in my 10-speed, cruising, empty. Again, no headwind, I'm sure all of that matters. Yeah, that APU ain't no joke either. You can hear it running right now. Mine doesn't shut off. I've tried playing with the thermostat. I don't know if that's something that eventually I'll have Thermo King look at, but if my APU is running the air conditioner, it does not shut off. Now, if I switch over to fan, it immediately shuts off. I haven't tried the heater yet because it's 110, but I got to figure that out. Yeah, here's the thing with that, Brandon. Go back and watch my 2020 Peterbilt tour, and you've seen this truck. I'm not exaggerating. With the exception that there's no chrome like accents around the gauges, it is the exact same truck. Now, when I get the PS5 and my TV hooked up, since this truck comes equipped with Wi-Fi, then we'll do a truck tour because I've learned the benefits of Velcro and command strips. I'll get it organized and we will eventually get a truck tour. But yeah, go watch my 2020 Peterbilt and you've seen this truck. Sorry for looking down, but again, I don't have my glasses on, so I got to get like this far from my iPad to read the comments. No, you can't say that about being dirty because I literally soaked through a shirt, putting my tandems, which that's an adventure, and just setting up to the ramp because it was so hot and humid. So don't say the dirty thing. But yeah, it is kind of nice on most days not being sweaty. But I'd still use my shower power. But yeah, I mean, even at Cook, when I was unloading those UTVs instead of those ramps, like every delivery I was shedding a shirt. It's like, wow, I can wear one shirt the whole day and not have to change. It's kind of nice. Yeah, I have the thermostat set on cold as it'll go, so maybe that is, maybe I need to let it run, but it'll run for hours, it seems like. Yeah, when I was in that Prime truck, I was flatbed empty. When I drove home from Phoenix, 65, I was getting 11.8. That time when I had to go home to get on my wife because I wasn't slowing down, I would get 11.8, 12 miles per gallon in a 12-speed Freightliner with no load on a flatbed. It's a very light trailer, but you can get them up there. There was one guy that was in a Peterbilt on my Prime fleet. Now, he obviously had light loads, but he averaged like 11.2 for the week. They sent out the fuel economy rating. So he can get good fuel economy, but Peterbilt gets the worst of all of them. See, I figured, why you gotta make it my fault, Ross? I'm not a thermostat guy. It's Kevin, not Thermo King. It does have a ring to it, but no. Man, maybe I'll try adjusting the temperature up a little bit. Maybe have it set too cold because it is hot. I also, the stupid things you think of when you're trying to be an owner-operator, when you're a wannabe owner-operator, is so when I drive during the day, I drive with my curtain closed, and I don't run the AC in the bunk because I want to save wear and tear on those parts. That's the stupid stuff you think of. Like, ooh, I'll shut this. And like, even though I have the curtains here, at night, I shut my middle curtain to try and hold the air in, to try and keep the cold air in there. That way I can run my APU less. Because, again, my APU is included in my truck purchase. So when I get the truck, I get the APU. So I'm trying to keep the hours down on it. Okay, so, Brandon, it depends what you want to do. And I'm going to be honest with you, as a starter out, like RTI requires 6 months of experience. I tell everybody, if you don't have an experience, I still recommend everybody gets their CDL before they go to a trucking company because you don't know. But TMC is always going to be my go-to. They just for a starter company until where I'm at, you know. And I'm not saying that I would recommend them because I haven't been here long enough. But man, I know Prime's training is just so long and so tedious, and TMC's training was awesome. It was 2 weeks of orientation, and most of that was driving because I only had a CDL but no experience, you know. And just my trainer was 5 weeks. And I was like, oh, Maverick has like 3 weeks. And Maverick's a good company. I guess they wouldn't, like I said, they wouldn't call me back. They're, oh, we're interested, and they never called me back. So those are the two flatbed box truck companies. I don't know because I don't know any starter. You know what I'm saying? Only drive-in experience I have is Cook and here, and they're not starter companies, and they don't require a ton of experience, neither one of them. But somebody in the comments or somebody in some of the other videos could probably give you a look at that and let you know some good starter companies. My favorite starter company I tell everybody is TMC. Just the way, the process, the structure, it made me a really good driver, I think. But I'm sure there are other great ones out there. I will try that with the blue and red dot. Yeah, I don't miss tarps. I'm sorry. I'm a wuss. I'm a weenie. There's nothing you can do with tarps and not get dirty. There's no way to do tarps and not get sweaty. Especially, or the opposite is freezing cold and they freeze in the shape of a U and trying to roll them in the wind and no help. Flatbedders are the man. They are the men. Men among boys. But I appreciate what it did for my body. I have gained it all back, but I don't miss tarps. I'm sorry. I just don't. Yes, maintenance is the biggest thing. And you know what I found? I had a spare fuel filter for a pack car. So I'm going to be changing my fuel filter out soon. I just don't have the wrench. I didn't steal anything. I don't even know how I got that. It must have been something, trucks or whatever. But I have a fuel filter. I gotta get that changed, but maintenance is a huge one. That's why I said I'm trying to keep the hours, because I think my APU has 530 hours, and they recommend service between 600 and 1,000. But I check my fluids every day. I do a pre-trip. That's how I caught the flat tire. I check my fluids. The biggest thing is fluids, because that's what I can control. Watching what I hit. My tires where I got it were good, so. Yeah, the coldest I've been in was negative 24, but the load wasn't tarped. That's the went to Minnesota with Prime. So, yeah, cold rather than hot. Because what's really cool is when you get help. When you one of my best buddies still works at TMC, the lease op I talk about sometimes. We met lifelong friends that took his son hunting, and we met folding tarps at a Home Depot. So those tarps can bring you together too. I would agree with that, CB, about box trucks, and that's what I said in that last video. It's like they were all low pay and in cattle farms, man, because everybody wants to. If you're nervous, you want to start out with a box truck, but starting out with a little challenge of flatbed, getting you a little workout that you can get, I think, better experience. And it was I cannot imagine having driven a box truck and then transitioning to a split axle after driven a split axle, but it happens. But yeah, so my recommendation is always going to be TMC until I find a reason not to. And this is not a sponsored video, nor will I ever do a trucking company sponsored video. So that's just my advice off the top of the dome on that. Hey, whatever works for you, man. Like I said, the OTR for me just doesn't work, and that's just me. Conestogas. Yeah, I never was close enough for TMC's Conestoga. One of the companies I looked at before I came here, it might have been Ruan, I think, was doing some Conestogas out of my area. But, yeah, that was just not for me. So I just can't do local. Because I'm here nor there. That's just not for me. It's for a lot of people, and if you do it, I respect the living heck out of you, because, I think local can be just as hard as on the road as far as the job itself and traffic and unloading and unloading a bunch. But yeah, I'm addicted to the OTR life. And in about 20 years, when I finally get rid of all my kids out of the house, maybe my wife will actually come out here. Yeah, they lost me too. That was why when I was looking at companies when I started out I think it was still like 50,000 miles, or it was 30,000. I don't remember. They've changed it a couple times, and that's fine. I have nothing respect for Prime, by the way, but I just remember hearing about PSD and then this and then TNT, and it just seemed like a very drawn out process. And it almost seemed a lot like, one thing I will say for those thinking about TMC is that the entire 5 weeks, 4.5 for me because of Thanksgiving, that I was with my trainer, we never ran as a team truck. He was always cognizant. There towards the end, I would get up early in the morning because I like getting up early as a hunter. I'm used to getting up early. Getting up early does not bother me at all. And he would sleep for a little while, and he'd get up, about 8 o'clock or so. And if we needed to kick it in because I started my clock so early, he would take over. But we never ran as a team truck. And I remember seeing a lot of stuff and hearing stuff about Prime that, after you got a couple weeks, the rest of the time you're basically cheap labor. And now that they've raised the training, you're not really cheap labor, but it just, training trucks are team trucks. And at TMC, that was never the case. And I really appreciated that from them. Sounds like Prime. What sounds like Prime? Okay, I'm getting confused. Oh. Oh, okay. 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 Yeah, yeah. Yep, I couldn't. So, Conestogas, do you have any problems with ripping those things? That's the only thing I ever heard. I know TMC has a Conestoga, and I'll just, like, if you get a rip in that, you're just going to patch it like you do a tarp. But I see those guys, boy, everybody comes in, and they got to go over to the tarping station, and they just slide this, do their little buckles, and they're gone. Oh, no. I was talking about just I couldn't be local. There was a Brandon is local, and like I said, I respect, y'all know me, I don't get into this company versus that company, this truck, if you're local, you ain't a real trucker. Screw all that. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes your family happy. I told you, I should have been trucking a long time ago, but I was too scared what people would think because my wife is successful, and if she introduced me, this is my husband Kevin, he's a truck driver. I didn't do this years ago because of the stigma of what that would be. Dumbest decision I ever made. Yep, Apollo, it is like that, and everybody, in trucking, you'll learn that you can go to the best company with the best equipment, with the best pay scale, and you get a crappy fleet manager, you're going to hate life. They make or break us out here. So, alright, where are we at? I don't even know what the time is on this thing. I'm going to lean in way too close. 37 minutes. Guys, I'm going to go watch other people's YouTube videos. I won't be watching Johnson's Logic because he hasn't posted any. But I guess I'll have to go with somebody else my 3 cents for watching their videos. But I am going to go ahead and get off here. Any last questions? Shoot them at me real quick, and then I'm going to get on. Yeah, I heard about those panels. Oh, yeah. Go look at No Luck Trucking's video about fleet managers if you want to see some fleet manager stories. Now, look at Driver Lineup. Great fleet manager, same company. I mean, it can be so look at. I had one horrible fleet manager, in my opinion, at TMC, and the next week I got a new fleet manager, and life was great. Your fleet manager just make you or break you out here. Yeah, I win the internet for today, Ross. I'm with you, Papa. All right, guys. With that, adios. I'll do a video soon. God bless. Let's get rolling. How do you stop this thing?